What's up, everybody? I apologize for the super weirdness that's happening right here with this black box. We ball on the budget on here, you know that? I downloaded free things from Canva, and I can't get rid of that. I didn't know how to do that. A number of weeks ago, I did an unboxing video that did, better than I thought it was going to. I actually got into triple digits on views. I'm shocked. Thank you, guys. No, seriously, I did that video a couple of weeks ago, and I figured we'd talk about some of the stuff. Now, this is not going to be a super in-depth review because really, I don't know what all to say about a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff is software-driven, so does the hardware matter all that much? I guess it really doesn't, to be honest. We're going to talk about this interface, though. We have a rant, and I've got a lot of in-depth stuff to talk about on this interface. So I guess the first thing we should talk about is this microphone. I bought this condenser mic kit on Amazon for about $60, and it came with everything that you see here. It comes with this shock mount, comes with the boom arm and the clamp to connect it to whatever surface. It also comes with the windscreen and the pop filter. Not bad for $60. Now, we'll talk about this with the interface a little bit later, but I'm using a noise gate in OBS Studio right now, not the noise gate that is on the actual interface itself. So this is a condenser mic, and the condenser mic basically will pick up everything. If I just quit talking and I turned my noise gate off, you would hear the interstate noise. You could hear a mouse pissing on cotton across the parking lot. They pick up absolutely everything. But in terms of the actual audio quality, I'm not super confident enough yet to give you any snippets of vocals I've recorded. But once you throw some fresh air, a de-esser, and stuff like that on there, it sounds really good. It doesn't sound like a $3,000 mic, because it's not a $3,000 mic, it's a $60 mic, but it doesn't sound like one. I think it sounds good. I don't have anybody I know with like a super deep bassy voice I can try this out, unless Paul Keels wants to come by. If you're an Ohio State fan, you'll get that reference. I think it sounds pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Will I outgrow it at some point? Probably, yeah, but it picks up my acoustic guitar very well, and it also picks up my voice pretty well, so no complaints here for $60. Just break me down if it makes you feel right. Alright, so... Whoa, what in the hell? Alright, so for this next little tidbit, we're gonna go to Reaper. So this is one of my projects I'm currently working on. I've got like multiple songs that are unfinished. That's just kind of how it goes. But I want to talk about the pads, and I want to talk about the keyboard real quick. Doesn't really matter what DAW you're using. I always recommend using Steven Slate Drums 5, and then I've got another program where I'm using Satala, which is just like a drum sampler, and I've got samples that I've I've got samples that I either made or just downloaded drum kits from, producers and stuff like that. The reason why I'm showing you this project is because Steven Slate has got 16, I've got 16 inputs on here, I've got 16 pads, because you can run these two together. Just a little tidbit of information right here. I've got it set to MIDI, all MIDI inputs, and then you hit the pad bank button on either the keyboard or the pads, whichever one you want to be the secondary pads. And hello everybody, I'm from the future. While editing this video, I didn't realize until way too late after the fact that once I stopped recording over there on OBS, there was not going to be a way to separate the mic audio and the desktop audio. What I should have done is I should have muted the mic input while I was showing you guys what the pads sounded like. So you're about to hear a lot of banging and clanging and all of that, and I'm sorry in advance. We're learning as we go. So that mess of sounds was all just from the one. Now we can go ahead and go with the other two pads. I'll have my headphones on, I can't hear what the fuck I'm doing. The keys feel great on the Donner keyboard, and I really like the way that the pads feel too. They've got good responsiveness. And like I said, you can change the pad bank settings so you can run these two together. 25 keys doesn't seem to be too little for me. I'm not playing full piano songs. I'm mostly programming synths or an 808 or something like that, and that's kind of what I'm doing with it. but it picks up super well. This was super easy to set up. It's literally just plug and play. I really am liking the way that it sounds. It's got, of course, all the transpose features and stuff like that over here. It's got pitch shift. It does have an option for a sustain pedal also. And the LPD pads, they're a little bit bigger, so I like that. I like the way that they feel. Minus, I think they're a little stiff. The LPD pads are velocity, so I can sit here and... The pads do not appear to be velocity on the Donner DMK25, but for the price point, I could definitely recommend both of them. So why did I buy this interface and not a Scarlett or an Arturia or a Behringer or anything like that? Basically, because of the price. Because I was buying a bunch of stuff at once, and the interface was not something I wanted to wait on. I didn't want to wait on the pads either, let's be totally real. I wanted to buy it all at once, which I did, but I didn't really want to wait, and I didn't really want to spend the extra 30 or 40 bucks. I budgeted myself, I gave myself a limit. I reached that limit pretty close anyway, and I didn't want to have to wait any longer. I didn't want to have to spend any more money. So, if you remember from the unboxing video, I had problems from the beginning. We're going to play that clip right now. This interface, I'm starting to suspect is the issue. I've tried changing my drivers multiple times, because there's no drivers specifically for this guy. I haven't even gotten the Donner hooked up yet. All right, just for reference though, this is the USB audio device is what this guy right here is coming up as, and it's not coming up as an output. So basically, this is what happened in the shortest way possible. So weeks ago, whenever I was setting all this stuff up, I was looking at how to do everything, and I was recommended that I download ACO for All and use ACO drivers. And so I attempted to do that. However, I was having issues. Some of it was Reaper, some of it was Windows, some of it was the interface. It was a whole mess. I kind of explained that. So what I settled on doing was using Wasapi exclusive mode, which was less than ideal, but it ended up working for me. I would have to save my project and close Reaper if I wanted to watch YouTube or something like that, but it was what it was. I'm usually a one-track mind and was either working on music or doing something else on here, so. And then I downloaded this yesterday, OBS Studio, and I was trying to get everything to work right, so where you guys could get desktop audio and you could hear what I was doing, and I can, use the microphone, because I'd love to go live on Twitch and maybe TikTok eventually and make beats on there. I think that would be super cool to do. So I spent approximately 3 hours sitting here and messing with the whole shebang. I was researching with a combination of different YouTube videos, Google searches, ChatGPT, and Copilot AI, because that's instant feedback. You can be like, oh, but wait, it says this, but blah, 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 blah. And I did that for about 3 hours. So I tried doing the ACO for All, and I had problems with that, which we'll talk about in a second. So I tried using ACO for Reaper and then using Wasapi shared for everything else in Windows using a VB virtual audio cable download. Tried doing that, and that didn't work either. So what I ultimately settled with is somehow I'm using Wasapi shared, and it's working fine. Somebody's going to say, well, why didn't you do this weeks ago? Well, because weeks ago when I was using Wasapi shared, there was a shit ton of latency in Reaper. That's why. Now it's just fine, so I'm a little annoyed that whatever I did caused it to be okay. But, I mean, I disabled everything. I disabled every input, every output, every communications device, got rid of that fucking GS wavetable. So when it came to ACO drivers, the interface was not capable of letting more than one program pick up ACO at a time, which means I had audio on Reaper if Reaper was open. I had audio on everything else when Reaper was closed, but I could never have them simultaneously. Kind of the same way that it worked with the Wasapi exclusive, but most of the time, Reaper was not the thing that got audio because Reaper didn't grab ACO first. So then I mentioned the virtual audio cable. Jesus, fuck.
I just had to pee. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Shout out to my wife for making me lose my train of thought. The reason why the audio cable wouldn't work...
I literally look like this.
Alright, so it is now many hours later, and wife had the giggles and trying to get her back in bed, and I talked to my cousin, and it's just been a whole fucking... So, yeah, basically, just long story short, my interface was not capable of letting Windows and Reaper grab the ACO driver at the same time. The digital audio cable that I mentioned, it was not capable of letting two different things run two different drivers at the same time. So that's basically where we are. I'm using Wasapi shared loopback on everything, and it seems to be working okay, but that was after many hours of troubleshooting, so I would keep that in mind if it's something that you're looking to do. Overall, though, I think for $350, like, I really can't complain too much. I ended up getting pretty decent condenser mic that I think sounds pretty good. And then I also got the keyboard and all that stuff. And I got an interface that allows me to record guitar and drums and all that stuff. Guitar and vocals, not drums. I suppose I could, but... And everything sounds good. There's no, like, weird noise or anything like that that comes from the interface. Any background noise that you're hearing is because it's a condenser mic, and the noise gate is kind of ridiculous. I suppose I could mess with the gain a little bit, but I'm not going to do that. So, I mean, that's basically it. I just wanted to come back up here and touch base with you guys and let you know how everything was going. I do plan on uploading a little bit more consistently, and also I'm thinking about using my other YouTube channel as, like, maybe doing something for, like, basically video documentaries or video essays, I guess you could call them. If that's something you guys would be interested in, let me know. I'm going to have the links down below. But alright, I got to get out of here. I got to throw this together real quick, and I got to go to bed because I got to work in the morning, unfortunately. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good night.